Kick-ass facts, the world's deadliest animals, not including humans, we would rank number 2. Do you remember that show? It's called Deadliest Warrior, and the guy who narrated it was super intense about it. Deadliest Warrior. Pew, pew, pew! The hippopotamus, causing an estimated 500 deaths annually as compared to only 22 for lions. Hippos are deadly because they're very aggressive and territorial and have a habit of charging at boats and capsizing them. The people on board then either drown or are killed by the hippo. An angry hippo can easily outpace a human, averaging 20 miles per hour in short bursts, whereas a human can typically only run 6 to 8 miles per hour. You do not, in fact, want a hippopotamus for Christmas. Tied with hippos are elephants. Because of habitat loss and encroaching farmlands into elephant home areas, they're encountering humans more and more frequently, and that's no good. Agree. Groups of elephants have been known to raid farms and villages, will gore or trample any humans that get in their way. When elephants feel threatened or come across a barrier on their path toward food and water, they will injure or kill people and destroy homes and crops. Same. Next, we have tapeworms at around 700 deaths per year. Tapeworm is responsible for an infection called cysticercosis. The main risk factor for tapeworm infection is eating raw or undercooked meat and fish. Dried and smoked fish may also have larval cysts in them. Poor hygiene, poor hand washing increases the risk of getting and spreading infections. Animals can also become infected with these parasites when grazing in pastures or drinking contaminated water. There's an Irvin Welsh book called Filth, and sections of the book are written by the main character's tapeworm. Crocodiles as a group are quite deadly, killing around 1,000 people per year, but they don't generally set out to hunt humans, and kills are opportunistic. Same. The saltwater crocodile, however, is a prick. They most likely see humans as prey. Males can grow to about 6 meters and weigh 1,300 kilograms. When pursuing prey through water, they can reach speeds up to 18 miles per hour. Can you swim 18 miles per hour? No, you cannot. If a saltwater crocodile has chosen you as their prey, thoughts and prayers. Scorpions produce venom for the same reason that most species do, not to kill humans, but to subdue or kill their prey. However, the venom of 25 species of scorpion can be deadly to humans if you are unlucky enough to get in one's way. Stings often happen when scorpions are accidentally stepped on with bare feet or when they are hiding in people's shoes. They use it as a defense mechanism rather than as an attack. Around 2,600 deaths a year are caused by scorpion stings. The most lethal in the world is the Indian red scorpion. Ascaris roundworms are transmitted when a person accidentally ingests their eggs, which is unfortunately what happens when food or drink has been contaminated by human caca. It's just adding insult to injury. The worms take residence in the small intestine and use the human body to stay alive, feed, and reproduce. The resulting disease, ascariasis, brings with it fever, abdominal pain and swelling, shortness of breath, and kills around 4,500 people per year. The disease affects more children than adults. Pronunciation of this one depends where you're from. Could be Tsetse, could be Tsetse. Either way, it kills 10,000 people per year. Tsetse flies. Transmits a disease called sleeping sickness, a parasitic infection that can lead to headaches, fever, joint pain, and itchiness, but can later lead to serious neurological problems. The number of deaths has been decreasing. That's good news. Assassin bugs. It's in the name. Some species of the Central and South American bug responsible for spreading, again, depends where you're from, Chagas or Chagas disease, a tropical parasitic disease that kills approximately 12,000 people per year globally. The species that do this are often called kissing bugs, as they tend to bite people's faces as they sleep. Between 20,000 and 200,000 deaths per year, very precise, can be attributed to freshwater snails. I was also surprised. This is because they're host to deadly parasites, in particular parasitic flatworms known as flukes. There are as many as 24,000 species of flukes, and most of them are parasites of vertebrates like us and mollusks like snails. A particularly nasty one that's transmitted through freshwater snails is called schistosoma. The flukes live and develop within the snail and then are released into freshwater. Humans get infected from the contaminated freshwater as flukes penetrate the skin. This is responsible for a deadly human disease called schistosomiasis, also known as snail fever. Dogs. Specifically, dogs infected with the rabies virus. They're responsible for about 35,000 deaths per year, though the virus can be prevented with vaccines. Vaccinate your dogs. The saw-scaled viper holds the record as the most deadly snake in terms of mortality. Snakes overall are pretty high up on the list, killing about 138,000 people per year. However, the saw-scaled viper is particularly aggressive, making it more deadly than the snake that's actually the most highly toxic, but also shy, the inland taipan. The saw-scaled viper's aggressive nature, paired with its potent venom and presence in highly populated areas, make it a force to be reckoned with. It has a maximum yield of 70 milligrams of venom in a single bite. The average person only needs 5 milligrams to be fatally wounded. Given the fact that the snake bites with a minimum of 10 milligrams, even the weakest and least potent bite is enough to kill at least 2 people. They inhabit arid regions and dry savannas north of the equator, across Africa, Arabia, and southwestern Asia to India and Sri Lanka. Humans take the number 2 spot, but if we move on to number 1, mosquitoes by far hold the record, being responsible for between 725,000 and 1 million deaths annually. Mosquitoes are disease vectors. That means that during their feeding on human and animal blood, they incidentally transmit infectious pathogens carrying bacteria, viruses, and parasites from person to person. The mosquito-borne disease with the highest number of fatalities is malaria, a parasitic infection that is spread by female Anopheles mosquitoes. This disease is so widespread and lethal that it has a massive impact on human history and even our evolution.